What do you think? Which factor wins out most often when prospects are making a decision to work with you? Is it emotions or is it facts? Well, research is clear. When all considerations are similar, not equal, but similar, emotions will win out as the most important criteria when making a decision. Now, this is subconscious for most people, and even the most analytical people who will make an emotional decision will want to substantiate it or justify it with facts. Think about it. Have you heard prospects say to you, well, we trust you, or we like you, or we like what you're proposing, or we think that you and your team are going to be the best fit to work with us? Those are emotions, not facts. And why is that important? Because the emotional impact is prevalent throughout the entire sales process. And it's really prevalent when it comes time to make the decision after the conversation. Here's how. Within the conversation, you're in an information exchange with that prospect or prospects, and you have the benefit of connecting with them and using your tone and your body language and your physical proximity, or even your visual proximity if you're virtual, to connect with them and tap into their emotions and the emotional impact of their situation and of having a solution or a service to work with them on it. And their emotional connection to you and to a solution are at an all-time high. So when they don't make the decision at that time, as each day, week, and month passes, the impact of that emotional connection lessens. And that means they're not going to see as much value in the service or in you. And it's why repeated emails, voicemails, or even texts checking in, have you made a decision yet? Can I answer any questions? After time, go unanswered. Because you need to, after let's say a month, start re-engaging and reconnecting them to emotion. And that means getting them back into a conversation often. And a lot of people don't want to hear that because they're like, oh, that takes too much time. But how much time does it take to keep following up with people who are now maybe disengaged in some way for their own situation and not getting the value of working with you? So instead, if you can let them know, you know what, time passes by, there's updates and there's things that change. Let's, have another conversation where you can share updates with me and any questions and identify what makes sense for you and get out of pushing for that decision, because most likely it's going to start feeling aggressive or one-sided. And if you want to stop this situation of having to re-engage them to their emotions after the fact, the number one thing you can do is be confident in asking for a specific decision or commitment at the end of your conversation. And if they say, we're not ready yet, or we want to think about it, you don't need to go in the hard press sale. What you can say is, you know what, that's understandable. And knowing that the information that we discussed today, is a lot, and that as the days go by, it's going to be, harder to remember all the specifics and why it's important. What would be helpful for me to provide to you that you have in front of you as you're making that decision and evaluating your options? And find out from them whether a document would be helpful for them to reference, or maybe there's a short video on something that they'll want to refer back to. But be there for them in the way they need after the fact. And the interesting thing about that is often when you're asking people, well, what is it that you'll need as you're doing that? There are times when the prospect will say, I guess as I think about this, we are ready, but we try not to make a decision on the spot and feel that, it's hasty, or, we just don't want to make that decision, right now. And so give us 48 hours or 72 hours. They'll start giving you a shorter time frame and showing you that there's more confidence there. Overall, Don't underestimate the impact of the emotional connection that those prospects have with you.